Yeah, baby, we did it! This is how we say good job.
Hello and welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Rosie and I'm joined today by the wonderful Connor.
Hello.
And Connor, I hope you're excited because I'm here today to tell you about Pragmata.
I am very excited, so let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Essentially, what I'm going to be talking about today is how the combat works, because I think the combat is so far one of my favorite aspects of this game. It's so much fun, and I think it's something that hasn't really been talked about a lot at the moment. So I just really want to explain how it works, why it's so much fun, and just, you know, showing you all me actually doing it, because you're genuinely watching my capture of the game at the moment. So hopefully you like it.
Neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through.
So the way that it works is that Hugh, he has a primary weapon. So in our case, it was sort of more like a pistol.
Okay.
And this reloads just over time. So your primary weapon, you don't have to worry about it like running out of ammo. You just have to wait. If you do run out of ammo, wait for it just to replenish.
So it just sort of charges up in the background as,
Yeah.
as you're getting on with everything else. That's
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. And we were also provided with a shockwave gun, which is sort of like the more short range but big damage weapon, and it can also stagger enemies. And we also got a weapon called a stasis net, which is more of a, you shoot it and it really stuns the enemies for a certain amount of time, and in some cases can do like a little bit of damage, but really it's not a damage weapon, it's more there to stop the enemies in their tracks. And also with the shockwave gun and the stasis net, they, even though your primary weapon recharges over time, the other two weapons don't. So you have you have to pick up ammo on the floor, and if you run out of ammo with that weapon, it will break. So you will see like duplicates of that weapon on the floor. So if you're thinking, why is like there a whole new weapon down here? I've already got it. It's because if you run out of ammo, then it's just going to break, and you need to pick up a new one.
Oh, that's a cool mechanic. I like that. You can find ammo, and it makes everything sort of start from fresh again.
Yeah,
Feels
definitely. But that's the thing, I really like it as well, because you have your two like more unique weapons with a limit, but even if you're with everything going on, you always have your primary weapon you can go back to, as that one refills over time with its ammo.
You're never left struggling. You've always got something there. You're not going to be completely ammoless at any point.
Exactly, yeah, you're never going to be in a dire situation.
Or you hope.
Visualization complete. Initiating hack.
However, when you use your weapons just by themselves, it's not ideal. These enemies that you'll be coming across have like really big armor, and in order to get into their insides, let's say, because that's where you're going to do the big damage, you need to hack them.
Okay, so this is what was shown in the trailer. When you're doing this sort of dancey combat, you're not just attacking them, there's an extra layer to it that's going on here. Okay.
100%. So what you need to do in order to basically do big damage on an enemy, you need to get Diana to aim at the enemy first, and you want to hack them in order to open them up. And then once they're opened up, that's when you can shoot them with Hugh and do the actual big damage to them.
So Diana is effectively exposing their weak points, and then you can do the real damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, this hacking minigame is different than the ones to like unlocking a door, because there's a very specific one where you have a graph, and in that graph you've got these little blue nodes, which like blue squares, and you need to pass through them and then finish your route ending on a green square, a green node. So so this is where my brain is very happy right now. But if you've played Yakuza 0 and you really enjoy... You have or you haven't?
I haven't.
Well, okay, well, essentially, there's a dancing mini-game in Yakuza 0 where you also have a graph grid, and you want to do as many steps, but in time with the music, in order to do, like, your dancing and look really cool. This is very similar to that. So as soon as I saw how this sort of graph grid worked, I thought, oh my gosh, it's the dancing minigame in Yakuza 0, but it's in combat, which I absolutely loved, because you're focusing on not only what the enemies are doing, because, you know, they might still attack you, you can dodge out of the way and everything, but, you know, you're focusing on what they're going to be doing. If Diana's aim goes off the enemy, then you've lost that hacking connection, so you have to get your aim back and then do another hack.
So it completely stops it, and you have to like start again from scratch.
No, so you can carry on for where you left off, but still, it's a real pain.
That sounds stressful. I mean, it's good to keep you focused, I guess. You want to be doing the right things and making sure that you're causing damage. You can't lose focus for a second, and that makes for good combat. You want to be stressed. That's part of the experience.
Exactly. You can also pick up as well, to even add to this gameplay, is that on the floor you then get these bonus nodes, and there can be, for example, we had one which was a little yellow square and it lowered the defense of enemies, and if you pick these up on the floor, when you go to hack an enemy it will appear on the grid, and the more of those you go past, the stronger the effect.
Okay.
So when you're literally presented with this graph, you're already thinking, kind of like, you know, Snake, like when you're just, you're a snake running around, you don't want to, you're trying to plan
yes,
your route.
okay, I thought you meant the other snake, and I was like, okay, no, I see what you mean. Yeah, that snake, yes.
Yeah, like, you know, the classic game Snake. So it's like you see your route and you're just sort of planning, okay, how am I going to get around? And basically, so I end up in the green square.
Cool.
And also, there is red nodes, and you don't want to be going into those nodes because, of course, if there's anything red and flashing
Red,
with a
bad.
big caution mark, it's like, do not go in this area.
Unless you want to just see what it does, and then you immediately go, I really shouldn't have done that. That was
Yeah,
a very
I won't
silly
lie,
idea.
my gameplay doesn't have that because I saw the big red square with the caution mark and thought, nope, I know.
You're sensible, so that's the sensible thing to do.
Exactly. And also, I will say as well, I don't have capture of this because I didn't die. But if you do die, but if you do die, you get teleported back to an escape hatch, which in order, like, you know, just like a checkpoint, but in order to access that, Diana needs to hack it first, but that's just a nice simple case of holding L1.
Oh, cool.
But there's like a lot of this whole hacking mechanic in this game, which is really cool. And also, if you want some even more hacking goodness,
Yes, more hacking.
This was introduced in the boss fight that we did at the very end of our preview.
Okay.
But Diana has an overdrive protocol, which is essentially when a gauge gets filled up from Diana hacking, she can do a really big attack by pressing R3 and L3 that basically stuns and opens up all enemies in an area. So if you're...
That's a cool special move. I like that.
If you're absolutely surrounded by enemies, then that's it. You can just use... And you've got the overdrive protocol charged up. You can use that and literally expose all of the enemies and then, you know, actually get your brain together and think, okay, let's actually take out some of these enemies.
That's a real sort of do not smash unless last resort type power then. Like, you need to save that until you absolutely need it.
Yeah. Talking about it, there might be people thinking, wow, this sounds like a lot, but honestly, when you're playing it, it's so much fun. It was so much fun to, when an enemy approaches you, because they approach you at like a really sort of nice pace as well, it gives you time to aim, look at the graph, figure out the puzzle and get the hacking in, and then as soon as that's done, you can just go in blasting. So it's a lot of fun, and I got really excited whenever I saw an enemy just for the puzzle element and also puzzling out how I'm actually going to get out of this situation.
That does sound very cool.
It is. It's super fun, and I'm super excited for everyone to experience it because I'm incredibly excited for the full release of this game, which is coming to PS5 in 2026.
Ooh.
I know. So we've just
not
got to
too
wait.
far away, but just a little enough to keep us excited and tantalized.
Exactly. So everyone, please keep an eye out for Pragmata on PlayStation Access because I'm sure we're going to be covering it loads more in the upcoming months to its release. Connor, thank you so much for listening to me just chatting about Pragmata and its really fun combat.
No, not at all. I'm very excited to hear more as time goes on.
And please like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from PlayStation Access, and hit the notification bell so that you stay up to date with everything from the world of PlayStation. Thank you all so much for watching.
PlayStation